Continuing now with True Devotion to Mary by St. Louis de Montfort. And so I'm on page 93. Mary purifies all of our actions from the stain of self-love and of all that imperceptible attachment to created things, which slips unnoticed into our best actions. As soon as they are in her most pure and fruitful hands, those same hands which have never been sullied or idle, and which purify whatever they touch, take away from the present, which we give her all that was spoiled or imperfect about it. She embellishes our works, adorning them with her own merits and virtues. It is as if a peasant, wishing to gain the friendship of and benevolence of the king, went to the queen and presented her with a fruit, which was his whole revenue, in order that she might present it to the king. The queen, having accepted the poor little offering from the peasant, would place the fruit on a large and beautiful dish of gold, and so on the peasant's behalf, would present it to the king. Then the fruit, however unworthy in itself to be a king's present, would become worthy of his majesty because of the dish of gold on which it rested, and the person who presented it. She presents these good works to Jesus Christ, for she keeps nothing of what is given her for herself. As if she were our last end, she faithfully passes it all on to Jesus. If we give to her, we give necessarily to Jesus. If we praise her or glorify her, she immediately praises and glorifies Jesus. As of old, when St. Elizabeth praised her, so now when we praise her and bless her, she sings, "My soul doth magnify the Lord." St. Luke 1:46. She persuades Jesus to accept these good works, however little and poor the present may be, for the saint, for that saint of saints and that King of kings. When we present anything to Jesus by ourselves and relying on our own efforts and dispositions, Jesus examines the offering and often rejects it because of the stains it has contracted through self-love. Just as of old he rejected the sacrifices of the Jews when they were full of their own will. But when we present him anything by the pure and virginal hands of his most well-beloved, we take him by his weak side, if it is allowable to use such a term. He does not consider so much the thing that is given him as the mother who presents it. He does not consider so much whence the offering comes as by whom it comes. Thus Mary, who is never repelled but always well received by Jesus Christ, makes everything she presents to him, great or small, acceptable to his majesty. Mary has but to present it for Jesus to accept it and be pleased with it. St. Bernard used to give to those whom he conducted to perfection this great counsel: when you want to offer anything to God, take care to offer it by the most agreeable and worthy hands of Mary, unless you wish to have it rejected. Is not this what nature itself suggests to the little with regard to the great, as we have already seen? Why should not grace lead us to do the same thing with regard to God, who is infinitely exalted above us, and before whom we are less than atoms, especially since we have an advocate so powerful that she is never refused, so ingenious that she knows all the secret ways of winning the heart of God, and so good and charitable that she repels no one, however little and wretched he may be. I shall speak further on of the true figure of these truths in the story of Jacob and Rebekah. And this leads me to page 95, where I will take a break, upload these videos to YouTube, and I will begin the next frame. Fourth motive: it is an excellent means of procuring God's greater glory.